You have absolute control over just one thing in your life, your thoughts. These words are not mere phrases. They are a timeless law, a beacon that has guided great men through the storms of life. I have repeated them countless times, and each time I utter them, I am reminded that no external circumstance can diminish the power that lies in our own minds. From the earliest days of my journey, I learned that while we may not control what happens to us, the harsh winds of fate, the sudden storms of misfortune, we do have one eternal dominion, the realm of our thoughts. It is here in this inner sanctuary that we can shape our destiny. Today, I want to share with you the profound truth that has transformed my life and the lives of those who dared to believe in it. Your thoughts are the seeds from which your reality grows. Chapter 1. The Foundation of Thought. Every achievement, every spark of creation begins with a simple idea, a thought conceived in the quiet chambers of the mind. Before the call of success rings out in the world, it is first born in the solitude of our inner landscape. When you consciously choose your thoughts, you begin to construct the blueprint of your life. Many have mistaken wishful thinking for true belief, but true control comes from a deliberate, unwavering focus on what you decide to think. Think of it this way. Your mind is like a master gardener. It can cultivate a flourishing garden filled with vibrant possibilities, or a barren landscape of negativity and regret. The thoughts you nurture will eventually manifest in your actions, and those actions, in turn, carve out the reality you live each day. Have you ever wondered why two people exposed to the same circumstances can lead such dramatically different lives? The answer lies not in their external environment, but in the inner garden of their thoughts. One person chooses to see opportunity where there is adversity. The other succumbs to the shadows of doubt. Ask yourself, what do you choose to focus on in your mind right now? Every thought is like a seed. If you plant seeds of hope, courage, and clarity, your future will bloom in ways you never imagined. Chapter 2. The Power Within. Consider the fact that you are not a passive receiver of life's events. Rather, you are an active creator. When you decide to control your thoughts, you choose the lens through which you view the world. It is this lens that colors every decision, every reaction, and every outcome. Many people wander aimlessly, reacting to events as they occur, without ever realizing that their internal dialogue is shaping their experience. You have the unique power to stop and reflect, to evaluate which thoughts serve you and which do not. This awareness is the first step toward transformation. Imagine if every time you faced a setback, instead of succumbing to despair, you paused and examined the thought behind the setback. What if you discovered that the negative voice was not your own, but a conditioned habit? What if you could replace, "I can't do this," with, "I'm learning to overcome"? In that simple act of redirection, you reclaim your power. I have witnessed time and again that those who achieve greatness are not the ones who are free of struggles. They are the ones who master their inner dialogue, who choose to see each challenge as an opportunity to grow. When you begin to see your thoughts as tools, you also begin to see that you are the architect of your destiny. Chapter 3. The Transformative Nature of Thought. Let me be very clear. The process of transformation begins with understanding that your mind is a canvas. On this canvas, you paint the picture of your future. Every stroke, the ideas you cherish, the beliefs you hold, and the emotions you choose to feed, determines the masterpiece you eventually unveil. This is why it is imperative to cultivate high, positive thoughts. They act as your personal blueprint for success. When you consciously cultivate thoughts of possibility, resilience, and purpose, you invite opportunities into your life. Conversely, when you allow negative or self-limiting thoughts to dominate, you unconsciously set limits on what you believe is achievable. Reflect on this. The difference between a dream deferred and a dream fulfilled often lies in the sheer intensity of the desire to succeed. The most successful individuals are not those who never encounter obstacles. They are those who learn to rise above them by harnessing the power of a focused mind. Imagine if every morning before you even start your day, you took a moment to set your mind on positive, powerful thoughts, thoughts that elevate and inspire you. What kind of day would you have? What new possibilities would emerge? Chapter 4. The Inner Conversation. Let me ask you something personal. If your mind were a friend speaking to you all day long, would you consider that friend kind, encouraging, supportive, or would you call it a critic, a pessimist, a voice that limits your every move? You see, many of us are trapped in conversations we don't even realize we're having, internal dialogues rooted in fear, shame, and failure. And those thoughts, those silent phrases echoing in your mind, shape your confidence, your decisions, and your potential. The moment you become aware of this internal dialogue, you unlock the first gate to freedom. Because when you begin to question your thoughts, you begin to choose them. And when you choose your thoughts, you choose your life. What if I told you that changing one dominant thought today could change your entire life path 5 years from now? It's true. The most powerful transformations begin not with action, but with awareness. Chapter 5, Thought versus Emotion. Here's a truth I've observed in the lives of countless individuals. Your thoughts ignite your emotions, and your emotions fuel your actions. That means if you want to change how you feel, you must begin with how you think. You can't feel powerful if you think weakly. You can't feel abundant if your thoughts are rooted in scarcity. You can't feel hope while entertaining despair. But here's the best part. You are not your thoughts. You are the thinker of your thoughts. And that distinction gives you choice. In any moment, you can pause and redirect your mind towards strength, courage, love, and purpose. And the more you do this, the more natural it becomes, until one day, the old thoughts no longer feel like home. Chapter 6, The Influence of Environment. Your mind may be yours, but it is constantly influenced by your surroundings. The people you listen to, the media you consume, the energy of your environment, these all plant seeds in your mind. So let me give you a powerful recommendation. Guard your mind like a sacred temple. If someone walked into your home and started throwing trash around, you'd ask them to leave. Why then do we let negativity into the sacred space of our minds? If you wish to elevate your thoughts, elevate your environment. Surround yourself with books, voices, and people that remind you of your greatness, not your limitations. And if you can't find those people, be that person for yourself. Speak truth over your fears. Speak clarity over your doubts. Speak love over your wounds. Your mind becomes what it feeds on. So feed it truth. Feed it belief. Feed it faith in your future. Because what you consume mentally is what you eventually live externally. Chapter 7, Real Stories, Real Change. Let me share something personal. Throughout my life, I had the honor of studying some of the greatest minds of my time. From Henry Ford to Thomas Edison, Andrew Carnegie to Charles Schwab, do you know what they all had in common? It wasn't luck. It wasn't inheritance. It wasn't even education. It was mental discipline. Each of these men mastered the art of choosing their thoughts. They trained their minds to focus on solutions instead of problems, on opportunity instead of obstacles, on faith instead of fear. Henry Ford once said, "Whether you think you can or think you can't, you're right." That's not just a clever phrase. It's a law that governs every human life. And you, yes, you, are subject to that same law. Hook. What thoughts are shaping your life right now? If your current life is the result of your past thinking, what could your future become if you started thinking with intention today? Chapter 8. Taking back control. Now, let's get practical. Let's bring this from inspiration into application. You may be wondering, how do I start controlling my thoughts? Start with these simple but powerful actions. Step 1, observe. Before you can change your thoughts, you must notice them. Throughout your day, pause and ask, what am I thinking right now? Is this thought empowering me or limiting me? Write it down if you must. The act of observation builds awareness, and awareness is the first step toward mastery. Step 2, interrupt. When you catch yourself in a negative spiral, stop. Say out loud, "That's not my truth." Replace the thought immediately with one that aligns with your highest self. It doesn't have to be perfect, just more empowering. Step 3, rewire. Repeat your new thoughts daily. Use affirmations, visualization, and repetition. What you repeat, you believe, and what you believe, you become. Step 4, protect. Filter what enters your mind, limit negativity, increase inspiration, feed your mind as intentionally as you feed your body. These steps aren't difficult, but they require consistency. And the more consistent you are, the more powerful your thoughts become. Chapter 9, The Greatest Power You Possess. Let me leave you with this. There will always be things outside your control. You cannot control the economy. You cannot control other people. You cannot control the past. But you can control your thoughts. And that changes everything, because when you control your thoughts, you control your attitude. And your attitude shapes your actions. And your actions build your results. And your results define your life. Everything begins with thought. You are not at the mercy of chance. You are the author of your own script. So choose your words with care. Choose your thoughts with love. Choose your beliefs with boldness, because your mind is the one place where your freedom begins. And no one can take that from you. You've had this power all along. Now is the time to use it, to build the life you want, one thought at a time. Remember, you have absolute control over just one thing in your life, your thoughts. That is not a limitation. It is your greatest advantage. Use it, master it, and you will become unstoppable. Thank you for listening. Thank you for believing. And thank you for choosing greatness.